My beloved child, as you lay down to rest tonight, let the stillness of this hour wrap around you like a warm blanket of peace. Close your eyes and release every burden, every worry, every anxious thought that has followed you through this day. I am here with you now, and I want to speak to you from the depths of my wisdom, from the treasury of Proverbs that I placed in the hearts of those who walked closely with me. These words are not merely ancient writings. They are living breath from my lips to your ears, whispered across the ages and into this very moment. Let them settle deep within your spirit as you drift into peaceful, restorative sleep. I have so much I want to share with you tonight, so much wisdom I want to pour into the quiet spaces of your mind and heart. You do not need to strive or struggle to receive what I am giving you. Simply rest, simply breathe, and let my words become the foundation upon which your soul finds peace. The beginning of all wisdom, my child, is found in knowing me. When you reverence me, when you hold me in awe and wonder, you step onto the path that leads to true understanding. This is not the kind of knowledge that the world offers you, not the fleeting information that fills your screens and clutters your thoughts throughout the day. This is something far deeper, far more enduring. This is the wisdom that was present when I laid the foundations of the earth, when I stretched out the heavens like a curtain and set the stars in their appointed places. This wisdom was beside me like a master craftsman, rejoicing in my presence, delighting in the world I was creating and in the children I would one day call my own. And now, tonight, I offer that same wisdom to you freely, without cost, without condition, simply because I love you and I want you to walk in the fullness of life that I have prepared for you. Listen carefully, my child, for wisdom calls out in the open places. She raises her voice in the public squares. She cries out at the busiest intersections of your life, at the gates where decisions are made and futures are determined. She is not hidden from you. She is not locked away in some distant, unreachable place. She stands right where you are, right in the middle of your everyday existence, offering you guidance and direction. How long will you love simplicity? She asks. How long will you turn away from the deeper things and settle for the shallow waters of surface living? I have poured out my spirit upon you. I have made my words known to you. And tonight, as you rest in this sacred space between waking and sleeping, I am making them known to you again with fresh clarity and renewed power. My son, my daughter, if you will receive my words and treasure my commandments within you, inclining your ear to wisdom and applying your heart to understanding. If you cry out for discernment and lift up your voice for understanding, if you seek her as silver and search for her as hidden treasure, then you will understand what it means to walk in reverence before me, and you will discover the knowledge of your God. For I am the one who gives wisdom. From my mouth come knowledge and understanding. I store up sound wisdom for the upright. I am a shield to those who walk with integrity. I guard the paths of justice and preserve the way of my faithful ones. Then you will understand righteousness and justice and equity, every good path that leads to life and peace and wholeness. When wisdom enters your heart, my child, and knowledge becomes pleasant to your soul, discretion will preserve you and understanding will keep you safe. Wisdom will deliver you from the way of evil, from those whose words are twisted and whose paths lead to destruction. It will deliver you from the seductive voices that call to you from every direction, promising pleasure, but delivering only emptiness. The voices that whisper to you in moments of weakness, telling you that there is an easier way, a shortcut to happiness, a path that avoids the discipline and patience that true growth requires. But I tell you tonight, there is no shortcut to the abundant life I have planned for you. The path of wisdom may seem longer, it may seem harder at times, but it leads to places of beauty and rest that the shortcuts can never reach. Trust in me with all your heart, my beloved. Do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge me, and I will make your paths straight. This is one of the most precious promises I have ever given to my children, and I speak it over you again tonight as you prepare to sleep. Trust in me. Not partially, not when it is convenient, not only when things are going well and the road ahead seems clear. Trust in me with all your heart, with the fullness of your being, with every fiber of your existence. And when your own understanding fails you, when the problems you face seem too complex for any human mind to solve, do not lean on your limited perspective. Lean on me instead. Acknowledge me in all your ways. Not just in the big decisions, not just in the moments of crisis, but in every small choice, every daily routine, every seemingly insignificant moment of your ordinary life. And I will direct your steps. I will straighten the crooked places. I will illuminate the dark passages and guide you safely through. Do not be wise in your own eyes, my child. Fear me and turn away from evil. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones. I know that the world tells you to trust yourself above all else, to believe in your own strength and your own judgment. And while I have given you a remarkable mind and extraordinary capabilities, I also know the limitations of human wisdom. I have seen how easily it can be corrupted by pride, how quickly it can be led astray by desire, how thoroughly it can be blinded by fear. That is why I ask you to hold your own wisdom loosely and to hold my wisdom tightly. Not because I want to diminish you, but because I want to elevate you. Not because I want to control you, but because I want to set you free. True freedom, lasting freedom, the kind of freedom that persists even in the most difficult circumstances, is found only in walking closely with me. Honor me with your wealth, my child, with the first fruits of all your increase. And I tell you that your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will overflow with new wine. I am not asking you to give in order to get. That is not the economy of my kingdom. I am asking you to honor me with what you have been given, because in doing so, you align yourself with the flow of my generosity, with the current of my blessing that runs through all of creation. When you hold tightly to what you have, you close your hands and your heart to what I want to give you. But when you open your hands in generosity, when you honor me by placing me first in every area of your life, including your finances, you position yourself to receive the overflow of my abundance. Not always in the ways you expect, not always in material wealth, but always in ways that leave you richer in spirit, deeper in peace, and fuller in joy than you were before. Do not despise my discipline, my beloved child. Do not resent my correction. For the one I love I correct, just as a father corrects the child in whom he delights. I know that discipline is not pleasant in the moment. I know that correction can sting and that the refining process can feel like fire. But I want you to understand something profound tonight as you rest in my presence. My discipline is never punishment. It is never retribution. It is never the expression of anger or disappointment. My discipline is always the expression of my love. It is always aimed at your growth, your protection, your ultimate flourishing. When I correct your course, it is because I can see the cliff ahead that you cannot see. When I close a door, it is because I know what lies behind it, and I love you too much to let you walk into harm. When I allow difficulty to shape you, it is because I am crafting something beautiful in you, something that can only be forged in the heat of challenge and the pressure of perseverance. Blessed is the one who finds wisdom, my child, and the one who gains understanding. For wisdom is more profitable than silver, and her yields are better than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and nothing you could ever desire can compare with her. Long life is in her right hand, and in her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who take hold of her, and happy is everyone who retains her. I created the heavens by wisdom. By understanding I established the earth. By my knowledge the depths were broken up, and the clouds dropped down dew. And this same wisdom, this cosmic, creative, world-shaping wisdom, is what I offer to you tonight. Not a diminished version, not a simplified copy, but the very wisdom that spoke the universe into being. It is yours for the asking. It is yours for the receiving. And as you sleep tonight, It is working in you, shaping your thoughts, renewing your mind, and preparing you for the days ahead. My child, let wisdom and discretion never leave your sight. Keep sound wisdom and discretion close to your heart, for they will be life to your soul and grace to your neck. Then you will walk safely on your way, and your foot will not stumble. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. Yes, when you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. And that is my promise to you right now, in this very moment. Sweet sleep, peaceful rest, undisturbed slumber that restores your body, refreshes your mind, and renews your spirit. You do not need to be afraid of sudden disaster or of the ruin that comes upon the wicked, for I am your confidence. I will keep your foot from being caught in any snare. Rest in that assurance tonight. Let it wash over you like a gentle tide, carrying away every fear, every anxiety, every restless thought that tries to keep you from the sleep you need and deserve. Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due when it is in your power to act. Do not say to your neighbor, "Go and come back, and tomorrow I will give it," when you have it with you today. Do not plot harm against your neighbor who lives trustfully near you. Do not accuse anyone for no reason when they have done you no harm. Do not envy the violent or choose any of their ways. For the devious person is an abomination to me, but my secret counsel is with the upright. My curse is on the house of the wicked, but I bless the home of the righteous. I mock proud mockers, but I show favor to the humble and oppressed. The wise will inherit honor, but fools I hold up to shame. These are not arbitrary rules, my child. These are descriptions of how reality works in the kingdom I have established. Just as there are physical laws that govern the movement of planets and the growth of trees, there are spiritual laws that govern the flourishing of human life. And the wisdom I am sharing with you tonight reveals those laws, those patterns, those principles that lead to genuine and lasting well-being. Listen, my children, to a father's instruction. Pay attention and gain understanding. I give you sound learning, so do not forsake my teaching. For I was a father's son once, tender and cherished in my mother's sight. And my father taught me, saying, "Take hold of my words with all your heart. Keep my commands, and you will live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget my words or turn away from them. Do not forsake wisdom, and she will protect you. Love her, and she will watch over you. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. Though it cost all you have, get understanding. Cherish her, and she will exalt you. Embrace her, and she will honor you. She will give you a garland to grace your head and present you with a glorious crown." I want you to hear this truth settling into the deepest places of your heart tonight, my beloved. Wisdom is not optional. It is not a luxury for the few or a hobby for the intellectually curious. Wisdom is essential. It is as necessary to your spiritual survival as water is to your physical body. And just as you would not go days without drinking water, you should not go days without drinking deeply from the well of my wisdom. Every morning when you wake, let your first thought be a request for wisdom. Every evening when you rest, let your last thought be gratitude for the wisdom you have received. And in the hours between, let wisdom guide your steps, inform your decisions, shape your words, and govern your reactions. This is how you build a life that stands firm when storms come. This is how you create a legacy that outlasts your years on this earth. Listen, my child, and accept what I say, and the years of your life will be many. I instruct you in the way of wisdom and lead you along straight paths. When you walk, your steps will not be hampered. When you run, you will not stumble. Hold on to instruction. Do not let it go. Guard it well, for it is your life. Do not set foot on the path of the wicked or walk in the way of evildoers. Avoid it. Do not travel on it. Turn from it and go on your way. For the wicked cannot rest until they do evil. They are robbed of sleep unless they make someone stumble. They eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the righteous is like the morning sun, shining ever brighter till the full light of day. The way of the wicked is like deep darkness, and they do not know what makes them stumble. My child, pay attention to what I say. Turn your ear to my words. Do not let them out of your sight. Keep them within your heart. For they are life to those who find them and health to your whole body. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. This is one of the most important instructions I will ever give you, and I want it to sink deep into your consciousness tonight as you rest. Guard your heart. Protect it. Be vigilant about what you allow into it. Your heart is the wellspring of your life. Every action you take, every word you speak, every attitude you carry, every relationship you build, it all flows from the condition of your heart. If your heart is pure, your life will reflect that purity. If your heart is cluttered with bitterness, envy, fear, or unforgiveness, your life will reflect that clutter. So guard it carefully. Be intentional about what you allow to take root there. Feed it with my words, water it with prayer, and weed out anything that does not belong. Keep your mouth free of perversity, my child. Keep corrupt talk far from your lips. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Give careful thought to the paths for your feet and be steadfast in all your ways. Do not turn to the right or the left. Keep your foot from evil. I am speaking to you about focus tonight, my beloved. About the discipline of keeping your eyes on the path I have set before you, and not being distracted by the countless detours that present themselves along the way. The world is full of distractions, full of shining objects that catch your attention and promise to fulfill you, but ultimately leave you further from your destination than when you started. Stay focused. Stay the course. Keep walking the path of wisdom, even when it seems lonely, even when others are taking what appear to be more exciting routes. The path I have chosen for you is the one that leads to life, and I will be with you every step of the way. My child, I want to talk to you about something very close to my heart as you continue to rest in my presence. I want to talk to you about the purity of your relationships and the sanctity of the bonds I have designed for human flourishing. Drink water from your own cistern, running water from your own well. Should your springs overflow in the streets, your streams of water in the public squares, let them be yours alone, never to be shared with strangers. May your fountain be blessed, and may you rejoice in the companion of your youth. I have designed love to be beautiful, faithful, and enduring. I have designed intimacy to be a sacred space where two souls meet in vulnerability and trust. When you honor these designs, when you protect the purity of your relationships, you experience a depth of connection and fulfillment that casual encounters can never provide. Guard the sacred spaces in your life, my child. They are among the most precious gifts I have given you. There are things that I find deeply troubling, my beloved, patterns of behavior that grieve my heart and lead my children away from the life I have prepared for them. A proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, a false witness who pours out lies, and a person who stirs up conflict in the community. These are the things that wound the fabric of human relationships, that tear apart the tapestry of trust and love that I am constantly weaving among my children. And I mention them to you tonight not to burden you with guilt, for guilt is not my tool and shame is not my weapon, but to give you clarity, to help you see clearly the behaviors that lead to destruction, so that you can choose the behaviors that lead to life. Every day you are presented with choices, and every choice moves you either toward wisdom or toward folly. Choose wisely, my child. Choose life. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores its provisions in summer and gathers its food at harvest. How long will you lie there, you sluggard? When will you get up from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief and scarcity like an armed man. Now, I want you to understand the context of these words, my child. I am not speaking against rest. I am the one who created rest. I am the one who rested on the seventh day and declared it holy. I am the one who has brought you to this moment of peaceful sleep, and who watches over you as you slumber. What I am speaking against is the laziness that masquerades as rest, the avoidance that disguises itself as relaxation, the procrastination that pretends to be patience. There is a vast difference between the rest that restores you for productive engagement with life and the lethargy that keeps you from fulfilling your purpose. Tonight, you are experiencing the former. You are resting so that you can rise tomorrow with renewed energy, fresh vision, and the strength to pursue the calling I have placed on your life. Can a man scoop fire into his lap without his clothes being burned? Can a man walk on hot coals without his feet being scorched? These are rhetorical questions, my child, and the answer is obvious. No, there are certain actions that carry certain consequences, as surely as touching flame produces a burn. And wisdom is largely about understanding these cause and effect relationships and making choices that align with the outcomes you desire. If you desire peace, choose the actions that produce peace. If you desire healthy relationships, choose the behaviors that build trust and intimacy. If you desire financial stability, choose the habits that promote saving and wise stewardship. If you desire spiritual growth, choose the disciplines that nurture your connection with me. The outcomes of your life are not random. They are not determined by fate or luck or the position of the stars. They are largely the product of the choices you make each day, and wisdom is the guide that helps you make the right ones. There are things I want to teach you about the power of your words, my beloved child. Words have weight. They carry substance and power far beyond what most people realize. The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Your words can build up or tear down. They can heal or wound. They can encourage or discourage. They can create beauty or sow destruction. And every word you speak sends ripples out into the world around you, affecting people and situations in ways you may never fully understand. So be careful with your words, my child. Let them be seasoned with grace. Let them be filtered through love. Let them be guided by wisdom. Before you speak, ask yourself, is this true? Is this kind? Is this necessary? Is this the right time? And if the answer to any of these questions is no, hold your tongue and wait for the moment when your words can do the most good. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise adorns knowledge, but the mouth of the fool gushes folly. My eyes are everywhere, keeping watch on the wicked and the good. The soothing tongue is a tree of life, but a perverse tongue crushes the spirit. I see everything, my child. I see the words that are spoken in public and the words that are whispered in private. I see the words that are typed in anger and the words that are swallowed in fear. I see the words that heal marriages and the words that destroy friendships. And I want you to know that your words matter to me. Not because I am keeping score, not because I am looking for reasons to judge you, but because your words are an expression of your heart, and your heart is what I care about most deeply. When your heart is full of my love and my wisdom, your words will naturally reflect that fullness. They will flow from a place of peace rather than anxiety, from a place of confidence rather than insecurity, from a place of generosity rather than scarcity. A hot-tempered person stirs up conflict, but the one who is patient calms a quarrel. Patience, my child. This is a virtue that the world does not value highly, but it is one of the most powerful qualities you can cultivate. Patience is not weakness. It is not passivity. It is not giving up or giving in. Patience is strength under control. It is the ability to wait for the right moment, to endure discomfort without losing your composure, to trust the process even when you cannot see the progress. I am patient with you, my beloved. I do not rush you through your growth. I do not demand that you arrive at maturity before you have had time to develop. I give you space to make mistakes, to learn from them, and to try again. And I ask you to extend that same patience to yourself and to others. When someone disappoints you, be patient. When progress seems slow, be patient. When the answer to your prayer seems delayed, be patient. I am working in ways you cannot see, in times you cannot predict, and in methods you cannot imagine. Trust my timing. It is always perfect. Better a little with the fear of the Lord than great wealth with turmoil. Better a small serving of vegetables with love than a fattened calf with hatred. Better a meal of herbs where love is than a feast with strife. I am teaching you about values tonight, my child, about what truly matters in the grand scheme of your life. The world measures success by accumulation, by how much you have, how much you earn, how much you own, how much you consume. But I measure success by the quality of your inner life, by the depth of your relationships, by the peace in your heart, by the love that flows through your daily interactions. A simple life filled with love is infinitely more valuable than a lavish life filled with conflict. A humble home where kindness dwells is infinitely more beautiful than a mansion where bitterness resides. Do not chase the wrong things, my child. Do not sacrifice the priceless for the merely expensive. Seek first my kingdom and my righteousness, and everything you truly need will be added to you. The heart of the discerning acquires knowledge, for the ears of the wise seek it out. A gift opens the way and ushers the giver into the presence of the great. In a lawsuit, the first to speak seems right, until someone comes forward and cross-examines. Casting the lot settles disputes and keeps strong opponents apart. A brother wronged is more unyielding than a fortified city. Disputes are like the barred gates of a citadel. These proverbs may seem disconnected as you listen to them, my child, but they are all threads in the same tapestry. They are all facets of the same diamond. They all point to the same truth, that life is complex, that relationships require wisdom, that disputes need careful handling, and that the way things appear on the surface is not always the way they are underneath. This is why you need my wisdom. This is why human understanding alone is insufficient for navigating the intricacies of life. You need the perspective that can only come from the one who sees all things, knows all things, and understands all things. And that perspective is what I am pouring into you right now as you rest in the shelter of my presence. The name of the Lord is a fortified tower. The righteous run to it and are safe. My name is your refuge, my child. When everything else fails, when every other support crumbles, when every human resource is exhausted, my name remains. It is a tower of strength, a fortress of protection, an unshakable foundation upon which you can stand no matter how violently the storms of life may rage around you. And I want you to know that you are welcome in that tower at any time, for any reason, in any condition. You do not need to clean yourself up before you come to me. You do not need to have your life together before you seek my shelter. You do not need to prove yourself worthy before you call upon my name. You simply need to come. Run to me, my child. Run to me with your fears, your failures, your frustrations, your faith. I am here. I am always here. And my door is always open to you. The wealth of the rich is their fortified city. They imagine it a wall too high to scale. Before a downfall, the heart is haughty, but humility comes before honor. I have watched countless people throughout history build their security on the foundation of wealth, only to see that foundation crumble when the storms came. Money is a useful tool, my child, but it is a terrible foundation. It can provide comfort, but it cannot provide peace. It can buy convenience, but it cannot buy contentment. It can offer temporary security, but it cannot offer eternal safety. Build your life on something more enduring than wealth. Build it on wisdom, on integrity, on love, on faith, on the solid rock of my word that stands forever. These are the foundations that do not shift when the economy falters, that do not crumble when the market crashes, that do not depreciate with time, but actually increase in value the longer you invest in them. The one who has knowledge uses words with restraint, and whoever has understanding is even-tempered. Even fools are thought wise if they keep silent, and discerning if they hold their tongues. I smile as I share this wisdom with you, my child, because it is so simple and yet so profound. There is power in silence. There is wisdom in restraint. There is strength in knowing when to speak and when to remain quiet. The world rewards those who are loud, who are constantly expressing their opinions, who fill every silence with the sound of their own voice. But I tell you that some of the wisest people who have ever lived were those who spoke the least and listened the most. They understood that every word spoken is a word that can never be taken back, and so they chose their words with the same care that a jeweler chooses diamonds. Be like them, my child. Let your words be few and weighty. Let your silence speak of depth and contemplation. And when you do speak, let your words carry the authority that comes from having thought deeply before opening your mouth. A person's wisdom yields patience. It is to one's glory to overlook an offense. I love this truth, my child, and I want you to let it soak into your spirit like rain soaking into thirsty ground. Wisdom produces patience, and one of the most beautiful expressions of that patience is the ability to overlook an offense. Not every slight needs to be addressed. Not every insult needs to be answered. Not every wrong needs to be avenged. Sometimes the wisest and most powerful thing you can do is simply let it go. Release it. Forgive it. Move on without carrying the weight of resentment on your shoulders. This does not mean that you allow yourself to be abused or that you ignore genuine injustice. It means that you choose your battles wisely, that you recognize the difference between an offense that requires confrontation and one that can be quietly released into my hands. And when you do release it, you will find a freedom and a lightness of spirit that far exceeds any satisfaction you might have gained from retaliation. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is my purpose that prevails. I know you have plans, my child. I know you have dreams and goals and visions for your future. And I do not dismiss those plans. Many of them were planted in your heart by me, but I want you to hold them loosely, to carry them with open hands rather than clenched fists. Because my purpose for your life is bigger than any plan you could devise, more beautiful than any dream you could imagine, more fulfilling than any goal you could set. And sometimes my purpose requires me to redirect your plans, to close doors you wanted to walk through, to open doors you never noticed. When this happens, do not be discouraged. Do not interpret my redirection as rejection. Trust that I can see the whole picture while you can only see a small corner of it. Trust that my plans for you are good, that my purposes are kind, and that the detours I introduce into your journey are not obstacles, but opportunities. A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold. Rich and poor have this in common: I am the maker of them all. I created every human being on this planet, my child, every single one. The rich and the poor, the powerful and the powerless, the famous and the forgotten. Each one is made in my image. Each one carries my fingerprints. Each one has inherent dignity and worth that is not determined by their bank account, their social status, their education, or their achievements. And I want you to see people this way. I want you to look at every person you encounter with the eyes of someone who recognizes the divine image in them. When you do this, when you truly see people as I see them, everything changes. Your compassion deepens, your patience increases, your judgments soften. And you begin to treat people, all people, with the respect and kindness that their inherent worth demands. Train up a child in the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not depart from it. If you are a parent, my child, hear this truth with fresh ears tonight. The investment you make in the lives of your children is the most important investment you will ever make. More important than any career advancement, more important than any financial portfolio, more important than any personal achievement. The time you spend teaching them wisdom, modeling integrity, demonstrating love, building their character, these are the deposits that will pay dividends for generations to come. And if you are not a parent, this truth still applies to you. You are influencing someone. You are modeling something for the people around you, for the younger ones who look up to you, for the peers who observe your choices. for the community that is shaped by your presence. What are you teaching them? What are you modeling? What legacy are you building with the raw materials of your daily life? The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty. I am speaking to you about discernment tonight, my child. About the ability to see what is coming before it arrives and to take appropriate action. This is not the same as living in fear. Fear sees danger everywhere and is paralyzed by it. Discernment sees danger where it actually exists and responds to it with wisdom. The prudent person is not anxious. They are aware. They are not paranoid. They are prepared. They do not live in a state of constant worry, but they do live in a state of constant vigilance, paying attention to the signs and signals that indicate trouble ahead. I want to develop this quality in you. I want to sharpen your ability to read situations, to sense shifts in the atmosphere, to recognize when something is not right. Not so that you will live in fear, but so that you will live in wisdom. And tonight, as you rest, I am fine-tuning your spiritual senses, calibrating your discernment, and preparing you to navigate tomorrow's challenges with the keen awareness that comes from walking closely with me. Do not wear yourself out to get rich. Do not trust your own cleverness. Cast but a glance at riches, and they are gone, for they will surely sprout wings and fly off to the sky like an eagle. I am speaking to you about the futility of making wealth your primary pursuit, my child. I have watched so many of my children exhaust themselves in the pursuit of money, sacrificing their health, their relationships, their peace of mind, and even their integrity on the altar of financial gain. And what do they have to show for it in the end? A bigger house that still feels empty, a fuller bank account that still cannot buy contentment, a more impressive resume that still cannot provide meaning. I am not against wealth, my child. I am against the worship of wealth. I am against the idea that money can give you what only I can provide. Use money as a tool, enjoy it as a blessing, share it as a gift, but never make it your master. Never let it define your worth or determine your direction. Your worth is already determined, and it is infinite, because I paid an infinite price for you. Do not eat the food of a begrudging host. Do not crave their delicacies, for they are always thinking about the cost. Eat and drink, they say to you, but their heart is not with you. This proverb speaks to something deeper than table manners, my child. It speaks to the importance of sincerity in relationships. There are people who give with strings attached, who offer friendship with hidden agendas, who say one thing with their lips while thinking another thing in their hearts. And I am telling you to be discerning about these relationships. Not everyone who smiles at you is your friend. Not everyone who offers you a seat at their table has your best interests at heart. But do not become cynical because of this truth. Do not close your heart to genuine connection because of the possibility of false friendship. Instead, develop the discernment to tell the difference. And above all, be the kind of friend and the kind of giver who acts with complete sincerity, whose words match their heart, whose generosity comes without conditions or calculations. Apply your heart to instruction and your ears to words of knowledge. Do not withhold discipline from a child. If you punish them with the rod, they will not die. Punish them with the rod and save them from death. My child, I hear the questions that arise in modern hearts when they encounter these ancient words. And I want you to understand the principle behind the proverb. The principle is this: children need boundaries, they need guidance, they need correction. They need the security of knowing that someone cares enough about them to say no when no is what they need to hear. The absence of discipline is not love, it is neglect. And the child who grows up without boundaries is not free. They are lost. They are wandering in a wilderness of unlimited options with no compass to guide them and no fence to protect them. Whatever form your correction takes, let it always come from a place of love. Always aim at instruction rather than punishment, and always preserve the dignity and worth of the child. My child, if your heart is wise, then my heart will be glad indeed. My inmost being will rejoice when your lips speak what is right. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but always be zealous in the fear of me, for there is surely a future hope for you, and your hope will not be cut off. I want you to hear the emotion in these words tonight. I want you to sense the depth of my feeling as I speak them over you. When you choose wisdom, my heart sings. When you speak truth, my spirit rejoices. When you walk in integrity, I am filled with a joy that defies description. You bring me delight, my child. Not because you are perfect, not because you never stumble, not because you have it all figured out. You bring me delight because you are mine, because you are listening to my voice right now, because you are allowing my words to shape your spirit even as you drift toward sleep. And I want you to know that there is a future for you, a good future, a hope-filled future, a future where every promise I have made to you will be fulfilled, where every tear you have shed will be wiped away, where every broken thing in your life will be made whole. Listen, my child, and be wise, and set your heart on the right path. Do not join those who drink too much wine or gorge themselves on meat, for drunkards and gluttons become poor, and drowsiness clothes them in rags. I am speaking to you about self-control tonight, my beloved, about the discipline of moderation in all things. Self-control is not the enemy of enjoyment, it is the guardian of it. The person who exercises self-control does not enjoy life less, they enjoy it more. Because they are not enslaved to their appetites, they are free to experience pleasure in its proper context and proportion. They are not driven by cravings that demand more and more but never satisfy. They are content with enough, grateful for abundance, and generous with surplus. Cultivate self-control, my child. Not as a grim duty, but as a joyful discipline. Not as a restriction of your freedom, but as an expansion of it. For the person who can control themselves is truly free, while the person who is controlled by their appetites is a slave, no matter how much they possess. Buy the truth and do not sell it. Wisdom, instruction, and insight as well. The father of a righteous child has great joy. A man who fathers a wise child rejoices in him. May your father and mother rejoice. May she who gave you birth be joyful. My child, give me your heart, and let your eyes delight in my ways. I am asking for your heart tonight. Not just your attention, not just your time, not just your Sunday mornings or your bedtime prayers. I am asking for your heart, the deepest, most intimate, most vulnerable part of who you are. The place where your truest self resides, where your deepest longings live, where your most authentic emotions dwell. Give me that place. Let me in. Let me take up residence in the very center of your being, and I promise you that everything else will fall into place around that central reality. When your heart belongs to me, your decisions reflect my wisdom. When your heart belongs to me, your relationships reflect my love. When your heart belongs to me, your life reflects my glory. And that reflection, my child, is the most beautiful thing in all of creation. I see the eyes of the proud, and I will bring them low. I see the hearts of the humble, and I will lift them up. Pride, my child, is the oldest enemy of wisdom. It was pride that whispered in the first garden, telling my children that they could be their own gods, that they did not need me, that my boundaries were limitations rather than protections. And that same pride still whispers today, in different words but with the same message. You do not need God. You are enough on your own. Your wisdom is sufficient. Your strength is adequate. Your plans are superior. But I tell you tonight, with all the tenderness of a father and all the authority of the Almighty, that pride is a liar. It promises elevation, but delivers destruction. It promises independence, but produces isolation. It promises strength, but creates fragility. Humility, on the other hand, is the friend of wisdom. It opens the door to learning. It creates space for growth. It makes room for grace. And it positions you to receive the honor that I alone can give, an honor that is not based on your achievements, but on my love. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring. Let someone else praise you, and not your own mouth, a stranger, and not your own lips. I am teaching you about the uncertainty of life and the futility of self-promotion, my child. You do not know what tomorrow holds. You do not know if the plans you have made will come to fruition or if circumstances beyond your control will redirect your path. And that is not something to be anxious about. It is something to be humble about. It is a reminder that you are not in control, that your life is held in hands much larger and much more capable than your own. And in that knowledge, you can find rest. Not the false rest of denial, not the fragile rest of ignorance, but the deep, abiding rest of someone who knows that the one who holds tomorrow also holds them. Sleep in that rest tonight, my child. Let the uncertainty of the future be swallowed up by the certainty of my love. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. I have not designed you to walk this journey alone, my child. I have designed you for community, for relationship, for the kind of deep, authentic, sometimes uncomfortable connection that causes you to grow into the person I created you to be. You need people in your life who will challenge you, who will push back against your assumptions, who will refuse to let you settle for less than your best. You need people who will speak truth to you even when the truth is hard to hear, who will hold you accountable even when accountability is inconvenient, who will walk with you through the valleys even when the valleys are dark and long. And you need to be that kind of person for others. Seek out those relationships, invest in them, protect them. Value them above the shallow connections that require nothing of you and produce nothing in you. For it is in the friction of genuine relationship that the rough edges of your character are smoothed and the blade of your purpose is sharpened. The wicked flee though no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. I love this image, my child, and I want you to carry it with you into your sleep tonight. Boldness. Not the reckless boldness of ignorance, but the confident boldness that comes from knowing that you are right with me. When your conscience is clear, when your heart is pure, when you are walking in integrity and truth, you have nothing to fear. You do not need to look over your shoulder. You do not need to worry about what might be uncovered or exposed. You can walk with your head held high, your shoulders back, and your heart at peace, because there is nothing hidden that could shame you and no accusation that could stick. This is the boldness I want for you. Not arrogance, not aggression, not the kind of brash confidence that tramples over others, but the quiet, steady, unshakable confidence that comes from walking in the light, with nothing to hide and nothing to prove. Where there is no revelation, the people cast off restraint. But blessed is the one who heeds wisdom's instruction. Without vision, my child, without a clear sense of purpose and direction, people lose their way. They wander, they drift. They make choices based on immediate gratification rather than long-term wisdom. They cast off the restraints that keep them safe and pursue the freedom that ultimately enslaves them. But when you have a vision, when you have a clear picture of who you are called to be and what you are called to do, everything changes. Your decisions become purposeful. Your sacrifices become meaningful. Your discipline becomes motivated. And your life takes on a direction and a momentum that carry you toward the destiny I have prepared for you. I have a vision for your life, my child. It is greater than any vision you have for yourself. And tonight, as you sleep, I am planting seeds of that vision in the soil of your heart. Water them with faith, nurture them with obedience, and watch them grow into something more beautiful than you could ever have imagined. I am a shield to those who take refuge in me. Do not add to my words, or I will rebuke you and prove you a liar. There is a completeness to my wisdom, my child, that does not need human improvement. I do not need you to add to what I have said or to embellish my truth with your own opinions. What I need is for you to receive my words as they are, in their fullness and their simplicity, and to let them do their work in your life. My words are like seeds. When they fall on good soil, when they land in a heart that is soft and receptive and willing, they produce a harvest of righteousness that exceeds anything you could have produced on your own. So do not complicate what I have made simple. Do not dilute what I have made potent. Do not add your agenda to my instruction. Simply receive, simply obey, simply trust. And let my words accomplish in you what they were sent to accomplish. Two things I ask of you. Do not refuse me before I die. Keep falsehood and lies far from me. Give me neither poverty nor riches, but give me only my daily bread. Otherwise, I may have too much and disown you and say, Who is the Lord? Or I may become poor and steal, and so dishonor the name of my God. This prayer of Agar is one of the wisest prayers ever recorded, my child, and I want you to consider its wisdom tonight. It is a prayer for balance, a prayer for enough, not too much and not too little, but just enough to keep the heart focused on what truly matters. There is a sweet spot in life where you have enough to meet your needs and share with others, but not so much that you forget where it all came from. There is a sweet spot where you are dependent enough on me to stay connected, but comfortable enough to be generous. Seek that sweet spot, my child. Do not be consumed by the pursuit of excess, and do not be paralyzed by the fear of scarcity. Trust me for your daily bread, and you will find that my provision is always sufficient, always timely, and always accompanied by a peace that surpasses understanding. The words of King Lemuel, an inspired utterance his mother taught him. Listen to the wisdom of mothers, my child. Listen to the voices of those who have poured their lives into raising the next generation, who have sacrificed their own comfort for the well-being of their children, who have stayed up through countless nights, praying, worrying, hoping, and dreaming on behalf of the little ones I entrusted to their care. There is a special kind of wisdom that comes from the experience of nurturing another human being from helplessness to independence, and it is a wisdom that I honor and value deeply. If your mother is still with you, cherish her. If she has gone ahead to be with me, honor her memory. And if you yourself are a mother or a father or anyone who has invested in the life of a child, know that your work is sacred, your sacrifice is seen, and your influence will echo through generations you will never meet. A wife of noble character who can find. She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. I share this portrait of strength and virtue with you tonight, my child, not as a burden or an impossible standard, but as an inspiration and a celebration. Whether you are a man or a woman, there is something in this portrait for you. The qualities it describes, diligence, generosity, strength, wisdom, kindness, fearlessness, these are not gender-specific. They are human qualities that I admire in all my children. And as you rest tonight, I am cultivating these qualities in you. I am strengthening your arms for the tasks ahead. I am sharpening your mind for the decisions you will face. I am deepening your compassion for the people you will encounter. And I am filling your heart with the kind of fearless confidence that comes from knowing that you are clothed in my strength and covered by my love. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a person who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give them the reward they have earned, and let their works bring them praise at the city gate. This is the final word of the Proverbs, my child, and it is a fitting conclusion to the wisdom I have been pouring into you tonight. Do not be deceived by appearances. Do not be captivated by charm. Do not measure the worth of a person by the beauty of their face or the persuasiveness of their words. Look deeper. Look at the character that lies beneath the surface. Look at the integrity that shows itself when no one is watching. Look at the kindness that is extended without expectation of return. Look at the faithfulness that persists when the excitement fades. These are the qualities that matter. These are the qualities that endure. These are the qualities that I reward, not with applause from the crowd, but with the quiet satisfaction of a life well lived, a life that has made a difference, a life that has reflected my glory into a world that desperately needs to see it. And now, my beloved child, as this first portion of our time together draws toward a gentle close, I want to speak one more thing over you before you sink deeper into the peaceful waters of sleep. You are loved, not because of what you do or what you have done or what you will do, not because of your accomplishments or your potential or your usefulness. You are loved because you are mine. You were loved before you took your first breath, and you will be loved long after you take your last. My love for you is not a reward to be earned. It is a reality to be received. And tonight, as you rest, I am wrapping you in that love like a blanket, covering you from head to toe in a warmth that no darkness can penetrate and no storm can disturb. Let the wisdom of Proverbs continue to work in you as you sleep. Let these words settle into the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, taking root and producing fruit that will nourish you in the days ahead. You do not need to try to remember every word I have spoken tonight. Your spirit is absorbing what it needs. Your heart is receiving what it requires. And tomorrow, when you wake, you will find that you are a little wiser, a little stronger, a little more prepared for whatever the day may bring. Not because you studied or strained or worked for it, but because you rested in my presence and allowed my wisdom to flow into you like a river flowing into the sea. Sleep now, my child. Sleep deeply and peacefully. Let the rhythm of your breathing slow to a gentle, restful pace. Let the tension in your muscles dissolve like mist before the morning sun. Let every worried thought be carried away on the current of my peace, drifting far from you until you are surrounded by nothing but stillness and the quiet assurance of my love. I am watching over you. I am standing guard at the door of your heart, allowing nothing to disturb the sacred rest I have prepared for you. The angels I have assigned to you are positioned around your bed, their wings creating a canopy of protection that extends from one end of your room to the other. You are safe. You are secure. You are surrounded by my presence, and nothing in all of creation can separate you from my love. As you drift deeper into sleep, carry with you the knowledge that wisdom is not just information to be learned, but a presence to be experienced. And in this moment, you are experiencing it. You are soaking in it. You are being transformed by it. Every cell in your body is being renewed by the power of my word. Every synapse in your brain is being rewired by the patterns of my truth. Every corner of your soul is being illuminated by the light of my understanding. This is what happens when you rest in me. This is what happens when you open your heart to my wisdom and allow it to do its deep, quiet, transformative work. I have spoken many words over you tonight, my beloved, and there are many more to come. But for now, rest in what you have received. Let these truths become part of you, woven into the very fabric of your being, so that when you wake, you do not simply remember them as words you heard, but recognize them as realities you embody. You are wise because wisdom dwells in you. You are strong because my strength upholds you. You are at peace because my peace surrounds you. And you are loved, deeply, completely, unconditionally loved, because I am your God and you are my child, and nothing will ever change that. The night is gentle around you now, my child. The world outside is quiet, and the world inside you is growing quieter with each passing moment. Let go of the last remnants of the day. Release the final threads of concern that may still be clinging to your consciousness. They will be there in the morning if you need them, but for now, they have no place in this sacred space. This moment is for rest. This moment is for receiving. This moment is for allowing the deep wells of my wisdom to fill you from the bottom up, until you are overflowing with peace, joy, understanding, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing that your life is held in the hands of infinite love. Breathe in my peace. Breathe out your worry. Breathe in my wisdom. Breathe out your confusion. Breathe in my love. Breathe out your fear. With each breath, you are drawing closer to the center of my heart, closer to the place where perfect peace resides, closer to the rest that I have prepared for you since before the foundations of the world were laid. This rest is yours, my child. It was designed for you. It was reserved for you. And no one and nothing can take it from you. Enter into it fully. Surrender to it completely. And know that as you sleep, I am working all things together for your good, weaving the threads of your life into a tapestry of beauty and purpose that will one day take your breath away. My wisdom continues to flow over you like a gentle stream, and even as your conscious mind begins to quiet and your thoughts begin to slow, your spirit remains awake and receptive, drinking in every word, every truth, every promise that I speak over you. This is the miracle of rest in my presence. Your body sleeps, but your spirit learns. Your mind rests, but your heart receives. And when you wake, you will be different from when you fell asleep, not in dramatic, visible ways, but in the subtle, profound ways that matter most. You will be a little more patient with the people who test your patience. You will be a little more generous with the resources I have entrusted to you. You will be a little more courageous in the face of the challenges that lie ahead. And you will be a little more certain in the deepest place of your knowing that I am with you, that I am for you, and that I will never, ever let you go. So rest now, my precious child. Rest in the wisdom of Proverbs. Rest in the shelter of my love. Rest in the certainty of my promises. And know that when the morning comes, you will rise refreshed, renewed, and ready to walk in the fullness of the wisdom I have poured into you through the quiet hours of this sacred night. I love you, my child. I have always loved you, and I will love you forever. Now sleep, sleep deeply, sleep peacefully, and let the wisdom of heaven continue its gentle, transforming work within you as the night unfolds its wings over your resting place and holds you safe until the dawn. And still, my child, even now, as the deepest waves of sleep begin to wash over you, I continue to speak. I continue to pour out the treasures of Proverbs over your resting spirit. For my words never cease. They are eternal, everlasting, always flowing, always nourishing, always bringing life to those who receive them. You have received so much tonight, and yet there is always more. There is always another layer of wisdom waiting to be discovered, another facet of truth waiting to be revealed, another promise waiting to be claimed. My wisdom is inexhaustible. It is like an ocean without a shore, a sky without a horizon, a love without a limit. And it is all yours, my child, every drop of it, every ray of it, every whisper of it. Yours to receive, yours to cherish, yours to share with a world that is desperate for the kind of wisdom that only I can give. The night deepens around you, and my presence deepens within you. You are being held, you are being kept, you are being transformed. And though you may not feel anything extraordinary happening, though the changes may be too subtle for your conscious awareness to detect, I assure you that something magnificent is taking place in the hidden chambers of your heart. Seeds of wisdom are being planted, roots of understanding are being established. The foundation of your future is being strengthened and reinforced by the unshakable truth of my word. And when the time comes for these seeds to break through the surface and bear fruit, you will look back on this night and know that it was here, in the silence and the stillness, that the harvest began. I am so proud of you, my child. I am so delighted by your willingness to rest in my presence and receive my wisdom. Many people fill their nights with noise and distraction, afraid of the silence, uncomfortable with the stillness, unwilling to be alone with their own thoughts and with me. But not you. You have chosen the better part. You have chosen to be still and know that I am God. You have chosen to let my words be the last thing you hear before sleep claims you, and that choice fills my heart with joy. Keep choosing wisely, my beloved. Keep choosing me. And I promise you that the wisdom, the peace, the strength, and the love that flow from that choice will sustain you through every season, carry you through every storm, and bring you safely home to the place I have prepared for you, where we will walk together in the cool of the evening and talk face to face, not as master and servant, but as the dearest of friends. Welcome back into the stillness, my beloved child. You have rested so well, and now I invite you to settle even deeper into this place of peace, where my voice is the only sound that matters. The night continues to hold you gently, and my wisdom continues to flow over you like a river that never runs dry. There is still so much I want to share with you from the treasury of Proverbs, so much more that I want to plant in the garden of your heart, while your body rests and your spirit remains open and receptive to every word I speak. Do not strive, do not try to hold on to anything. Simply let my voice carry you deeper into rest, deeper into peace, deeper into the transforming presence of my wisdom that has been guiding my children since the beginning of time. My child, I want to continue speaking to you about the choices that shape a life. Every single day you are presented with a crossroads, sometimes obvious and sometimes hidden, where you must decide which way to walk. The wise person pauses at these crossroads and considers the end of each path before taking the first step. The foolish person rushes forward without thinking, carried along by impulse, emotion, or the pressure of the moment. I have given you the gift of reflection, the ability to stop and think before you act, and I want you to use that gift generously. When you face a decision tomorrow, or the next day, or at any point in the future, pause, breathe, ask me for guidance, and then listen for the still, small voice of wisdom that speaks in the quiet places of your heart. That voice will never lead you astray. That voice will always point you toward life. The fear of me is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. I keep returning to this theme, my child, because it is the golden thread that runs through every proverb, every teaching, every piece of wisdom I have ever shared with humanity. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is thinking of yourself less. It is the posture of a heart that recognizes its dependence on me and its connection to others. It is the soil in which every other virtue grows. Without humility, courage becomes arrogance. Without humility, confidence becomes pride. Without humility, knowledge becomes a weapon instead of a tool. But when humility is present, when it forms the foundation of your character, everything else finds its proper place. Your strengths serve others instead of serving yourself. Your knowledge builds up instead of tearing down. Your influence blesses instead of manipulates. And your life becomes a reflection of my grace rather than a monument to your own achievements. The lot is cast into the lap, but its every decision is from me. I want you to understand something profound about the nature of reality, my child. Nothing is random. Nothing is accidental. Nothing happens outside the reach of my sovereign hand. Even the things that seem like chance, the unexpected encounters, the surprising turns of events, the seemingly random occurrences that change the course of your life. All of these are woven into the tapestry of my purpose. This does not mean that you are a puppet on a string, moved about without will or choice. It means that I am so vast, so wise, so infinitely capable that I can incorporate every free choice, every human decision, every unpredictable event into the grand design of my plan. And that plan, my child, is for your good, always for your good, even when it does not feel like it, even when the path leads through shadows and valleys, even when the night seems endless and the dawn seems impossibly far away. I am working. I am weaving. I am turning all things toward the glorious conclusion I have prepared for those who love me. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity. Let me speak to you about friendship, my child, real friendship, the kind that does not fade when circumstances change or evaporate when difficulty arrives. A true friend is not someone who is only present when things are going well, who only calls when there is something to celebrate, who only shows up when the sun is shining and the road is smooth. A true friend is someone who walks into your darkness when everyone else is walking out. Someone who sits with you in your pain without trying to fix it or minimize it or rush you through it. Someone who tells you the truth even when the truth is uncomfortable, and who loves you not in spite of your flaws, but through them and beyond them. If you have such a friend, you possess a treasure beyond price. And if you are such a friend to someone else, you are fulfilling one of the highest callings I have placed upon human hearts. Nurture those friendships, my child. They are rare and precious, and they deserve your time, your attention, and your care. Even in laughter the heart may ache, and rejoicing may end in grief. I share this truth with you not to dampen your joy, but to deepen your compassion. Not everyone who smiles is happy. Not everyone who laughs is free from pain. Behind the brightest faces, there are sometimes the darkest struggles. And I want you to be the kind of person who sees beyond the surface, who notices the tremor behind the smile, who senses the weight behind the laughter. When you encounter someone tomorrow who seems perfectly fine, pause for a moment and look a little deeper. Ask a genuine question. Offer a sincere word of encouragement. Create a space where it is safe to be honest, where pretense can be set aside and truth can breathe. You may never know the impact of such a moment. You may never realize that your simple act of noticing was the lifeline someone desperately needed. But I will know, and I will bless you for it in ways you cannot imagine. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. Joy is powerful, my child. It is not a frivolous emotion reserved for holidays and celebrations. It is a force, a strength, a healing agent that works at the deepest levels of your being. When your heart is cheerful, your body responds. Your immune system strengthens. Your energy increases. Your resilience deepens. Your capacity for dealing with difficulty expands. And the opposite is equally true. When your spirit is crushed, when despair settles in and hopelessness takes root, it affects everything. Your health deteriorates. Your relationships suffer. Your productivity declines. Your ability to see clearly and think wisely is compromised. That is why I guard your joy so carefully, my child. That is why I speak words of encouragement over you in the night, planting seeds of hope and gladness in the soil of your sleeping heart. I want you to wake with joy. I want you to move through your day with a lightness of spirit that comes not from the absence of problems, but from the presence of my peace. Joy is your strength. Guard it, cultivate it, and share it generously with everyone you meet. He who finds a wife finds what is good and receives favor from me. I celebrate love, my child. I celebrate the covenant between two people who choose to build a life together, who choose to weather storms together, who choose to grow old together through all the beauty and difficulty that a shared life entails. If you are in such a relationship, honor it tonight. Let gratitude for your partner fill your heart as you rest. Remember the reasons you chose each other. Remember the moments of tenderness that exist beneath the routine. Remember that the person beside you, or far from you, or waiting for you, is a gift from my hand, given not to complete you, but to companion you on this extraordinary journey of life. And if you are still waiting for such love, be patient, be faithful, be the kind of person you would want to love. And trust that my timing in matters of the heart is always perfect, even when it feels unbearably slow. A person's own folly leads to their ruin, yet their heart rages against me. I want to address this tendency with gentle honesty, my child. There are times when the difficulties in your life are not the result of external forces or unfair circumstances, but the natural consequences of your own choices. And in those moments, the temptation is to blame me, to question my goodness, to wonder why I have allowed such hardship to fall upon you. But I ask you to look honestly at the chain of events that led you to where you are. Was there a warning I gave that you ignored? Was there a boundary I set that you crossed? Was there a piece of wisdom I offered that you dismissed? I do not say this to heap guilt upon you, my child. I say it to empower you. Because if your difficulty is the result of your own choices, that means you have the power to make different choices going forward. You are not a victim of random misfortune. You are a participant in your own life, and every new day brings a new opportunity to choose differently, to choose wisely, to choose the path that leads to life and peace and wholeness. Wealth attracts many friends, but even the closest friend of the poor person deserts them. This is a sobering truth about human nature, my child, but I share it with you not to make you cynical, but to make you discerning. Be aware that some people are drawn to what you have rather than who you are. Be aware that some friendships are transactional, based on mutual benefit rather than genuine affection. And be aware that the truest test of friendship is not how people treat you when you are flourishing, but how they treat you when you are struggling. Those who remain when everything is stripped away, those are your true friends. Those who show up when there is nothing to gain, those are the people you can trust with your heart. And above all, know that I am the friend who never leaves. I am the one who remains when everyone else has gone. I am the one whose love is not contingent on your circumstances, your success, your wealth, or your ability to offer anything in return. My love for you is unconditional, unwavering, and unending. And in that love, you will always find the truest friendship your heart could ever desire. The purposes of a person's heart are deep waters, but one who has insight draws them out. There are depths within you, my child, that you have not yet explored. There are gifts, talents, passions, and callings that lie buried beneath the surface of your conscious awareness, waiting to be drawn out by the right questions, the right circumstances, the right relationships. And I am the one who knows those depths better than anyone, better even than you know them yourself. I see the things you have hidden, not just from the world, but from yourself. I see the dreams you abandoned because someone told you they were unrealistic. I see the talents you neglected because you did not think they were valuable enough. I see the passions you suppressed because you were afraid of what people would think. And tonight, as you sleep, I am stirring those deep waters. I am drawing things to the surface that have been submerged for too long. I am awakening parts of you that have been dormant, and I am preparing you for a season of discovery that will surprise and delight you in equal measure. Many claim to have unfailing love, but a faithful person who can find faithfulness, my child. This is one of the rarest and most beautiful qualities a person can possess. In a world that celebrates novelty and chases the next exciting thing, faithfulness is the quiet hero that holds everything together. It is the commitment to show up, day after day, even when the excitement has faded. It is the decision to keep your promises, even when keeping them is inconvenient. It is the resolve to stay the course, even when easier paths present themselves. I am faithful to you, my child. I have never broken a promise I have made. I have never abandoned anyone who has called upon my name. I have never turned my back on anyone who has sought my face. And I am asking you to reflect that faithfulness in your own life. Be faithful in your relationships. Be faithful in your work. Be faithful in your commitments. Be faithful in the small things, because it is in the small things that the pattern of your character is established. And when you are faithful in the small things, I know I can trust you with the greater things I have in store for you. The glory of young people is their strength, and the splendor of the old is their gray hair. I celebrate every season of life, my child. Every age has its beauty, its strengths, its unique gifts. Youth brings energy, passion, boldness, and the willingness to take risks. Age brings wisdom, patience, perspective, and the ability to see patterns that are invisible to younger eyes. Do not wish away the season you are in. Do not long for the past or rush toward the future. Be fully present in this moment, in this chapter of your story, and extract every drop of goodness and growth that it has to offer. If you are young, use your strength for noble purposes. Push boundaries, dream big, take risks that are guided by wisdom. If you are older, share your wisdom generously. Mentor those who are coming behind you. Let the grey hairs on your head be a crown of honor, testifying to the lessons you have learned and the storms you have survived. Every season is beautiful in my eyes, and every season has a purpose in my plan. Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed. Do not try to navigate life alone, my child. Do not let pride or independence keep you from seeking the wisdom of others. I have placed people in your life who have walked roads you have not yet traveled, who have learned lessons you have not yet encountered, who can see blind spots that you cannot see on your own. Seek their counsel, listen to their experience, weigh their words carefully. You do not have to follow every piece of advice you receive, but you should consider it honestly and humbly before making your decision. The wise person surrounds themselves with advisors who are not afraid to disagree with them, who will challenge their assumptions, who will push back when they are heading in the wrong direction. These are the people who will help you build a life of wisdom and purpose, and they are among the most valuable resources you will ever have. A person finds joy in giving an apt reply, and how good is a timely word. The right word at the right time is a gift, my child. It is a beam of light in a dark room, a cup of cold water on a scorching day, a hand extended to someone who is drowning. And I want you to be a person who gives such gifts regularly. Pay attention to the people around you. Notice when someone is struggling. Notice when someone needs encouragement. Notice when a kind word or a thoughtful gesture could change the trajectory of someone's entire day. And then speak. Speak life. Speak hope. Speak courage. Speak the words that the Holy Spirit places on your heart, even if they seem simple or insignificant to you. You have no idea how many times a single sentence, spoken at exactly the right moment, has saved a life, restored a relationship, or reignited a dream that was on the verge of dying. Your words are powerful, my child. Use them wisely. Use them generously. Use them to build the kind of world that I envisioned when I first spoke creation into being. Better a patient person than a warrior, one with self-control than one who takes a city. I return to this theme of patience and self-control because it is so essential to the life of wisdom, my child. The world celebrates the conqueror, the one who takes what they want by force, who dominates through power, who achieves through aggression. But I celebrate the person who conquers themselves, the person who can control their temper when provoked, the person who can delay gratification when tempted, the person who can hold their tongue when angry, the person who can stay faithful when allured. This kind of victory, the victory over self, is the greatest victory of all. It does not make headlines. It does not earn trophies. It does not attract followers on social media, but it attracts my attention. It earns my respect, and it produces a quality of character that no external achievement can ever match. Be that person, my child. Be the one who masters themselves before trying to master the world. The crucible for silver and the furnace for gold, but I test the heart. I know your heart, my child. I know it better than you know it yourself. I know its strengths and its weaknesses, its desires and its fears, its hopes and its hidden wounds. And I am constantly at work in your heart, refining it, purifying it, removing the impurities that diminish its beauty and compromise its strength. This process is not always comfortable. The furnace is hot and the crucible is confining. There are moments when you feel the heat of my refining fire and wonder if it will ever end. But I want you to trust me in those moments. I am not trying to destroy you. I am trying to reveal you. I am trying to bring out the gold that has always been there, hidden beneath layers of fear and self-protection and accumulated hurt. And when the refining is complete, when the impurities have been burned away and the gold shines clear and bright, you will look at yourself and see someone you barely recognize, someone stronger, someone purer, someone more beautiful than you ever thought possible. That person is the real you, my child, and I am working tirelessly to bring that person fully into the light. Starting a quarrel is like breaching a dam, so drop the matter before a dispute breaks out. I want to speak to you about the wisdom of knowing when to let things go, my child. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every disagreement needs to be resolved. Not every offense needs to be addressed. Sometimes the wisest thing you can do is simply walk away, release your grip on being right, and choose peace over victory. This does not mean you should avoid all conflict. There are times when standing your ground is essential, when speaking up is necessary, when confrontation is the most loving thing you can do. But there are also times when pressing the point will only make things worse, when insisting on being heard will only escalate the tension, when the cost of winning the argument far exceeds the value of the point you are trying to make. Wisdom knows the difference. And as you grow in wisdom, you will find yourself more and more willing to let small things go, to release trivial offenses, to choose the long-term health of your relationships over the short-term satisfaction of being right. The one who has knowledge uses words with restraint, and whoever has understanding is even-tempered. Restraint in speech and evenness of temperament, these are the hallmarks of a person who has been deeply shaped by my wisdom. They do not react impulsively. They do not speak carelessly. They do not allow their emotions to dictate their behavior. Instead, they respond thoughtfully, speak deliberately, and maintain an inner steadiness that is not shaken by external circumstances. This does not mean they are emotionless or detached. It means they have learned to process their emotions through the filter of wisdom before expressing them outwardly. They feel deeply, but they act wisely. They care passionately, but they respond calmly. They engage fully with life, but they do not allow life's turbulence to pull them off course. This is the kind of person I am shaping you to become, my child. And tonight, as you rest, I am strengthening the foundations of your inner stability, building up the walls of your emotional resilience, and deepening the roots of your spiritual groundedness. There is a way that appears to be right, but in the end it leads to death. This is perhaps one of the most sobering truths in all of Proverbs, my child, and I want you to hear it clearly tonight. Not everything that looks good is good. Not every path that seems promising leads to a promising destination. Not every opportunity that glitters is gold. Appearances can be deceiving, and your own judgment, no matter how sharp, can be fooled by clever packaging and persuasive presentation. That is why you need me. That is why you need my wisdom to supplement your own understanding. I can see the end of every path from the beginning. I know which doors open to blessing and which doors open to harm. I know which relationships will enrich you and which will deplete you. I know which decisions will lead to flourishing and which will lead to regret. Come to me before you make your choices, my child. Bring your decisions into my presence and let me shine the light of my wisdom on them before you commit. This is not a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate expression of strength, the strength to acknowledge that you need guidance from someone who can see what you cannot. Commit to me whatever you do, and your plans will succeed. I love this promise, my child, and I want to unpack it for you as you rest. When I say commit to me whatever you do, I'm not asking you to become religious about your daily tasks. I am asking you to invite me into them, to do your work as if you are doing it for me, to treat your relationships as if I am present in every interaction, because I am, to approach your challenges as if I am standing beside you, offering guidance and strength, because I am. When you commit your work to me, something shifts in the spiritual atmosphere. Your efforts are infused with a power that goes beyond human capability. Your creativity is enhanced by divine inspiration. Your endurance is strengthened by supernatural grace. And the results of your labor bear the unmistakable fingerprints of my blessing. This does not mean that everything will be easy or that every plan will unfold exactly as you envisioned. But it does mean that the ultimate outcome of a life committed to me is always good, always purposeful, and always worth the journey. The heart of the wise teaches their mouth and adds learning to their lips. Gracious words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. I keep coming back to the power of words, my child, because words are the primary currency of human interaction. They are how you express love, resolve conflict, build trust, share ideas, offer comfort, and create connection. And the quality of your words is directly related to the quality of your heart. When your heart is full of wisdom, your words will be wise. When your heart is full of grace, your words will be gracious. When your heart is full of love, your words will be loving. That is why I am so focused on your heart tonight. I am not just teaching your mind. I am transforming your heart. Because when your heart is right, everything else follows. Your words, your actions, your attitudes, your relationships. They all flow from the wellspring of your heart. And when that wellspring is pure and deep, everything it produces will be good and nourishing and life-giving. A perverse person stirs up conflict, and a gossip separates close friends. Guard your tongue against gossip, my child. It is one of the most destructive forces in human community, capable of tearing apart in minutes what took years to build. When you speak about someone who is not present, ask yourself, would I say this if they were standing right here? Would I be comfortable if they could hear every word? And if the answer is no, then those words should not be spoken. Gossip masquerades as concern, as prayer requests, as sharing of news, as keeping others informed. But at its core, it is the spreading of information that was not yours to share, the discussion of situations that are not your business, the judgment of people based on incomplete and often inaccurate information. I call you to a higher standard, my child. I call you to speak well of others or not speak of them at all. I call you to be the person who, when gossip begins, changes the subject rather than contributing to it. I call you to be a vault of trustworthiness, someone to whom others can confide without fear of betrayal. Grey hair is a crown of splendor. It is attained in the way of righteousness. I honor the journey, my child. I honor every year you have lived, every lesson you have learned, every scar you have earned. There is no such thing as wasted time in my economy. Every experience, even the painful ones, especially the painful ones, has contributed to the person you are becoming. The mistakes you have made have taught you compassion. The failures you have endured have taught you resilience. The losses you have suffered have taught you gratitude. And the years that have passed have given you a depth and richness that youth alone could never provide. Do not mourn the passing of time, my child. Celebrate it. Each day is a gift, each year is a chapter, and the story I am writing with your life is one of breathtaking beauty and profound purpose. Trust the author, trust the narrative, and know that the best chapters are still ahead. How much better to get wisdom than gold, to get insight rather than silver. I have said this before, and I will say it again, because the world is constantly trying to convince you otherwise. The world measures value in monetary terms. It assigns worth based on net worth. It defines success by the size of your portfolio, and the brand of your car, and the address of your home. But I tell you that the person who possesses wisdom is richer than the wealthiest billionaire who lacks it. Because wisdom enables you to enjoy what you have, while the absence of wisdom prevents you from enjoying even the greatest abundance. Wisdom teaches you to find contentment in simplicity. It teaches you to find beauty in ordinary moments. It teaches you to find joy in giving rather than accumulating. It teaches you to find peace in my presence rather than in your possessions. These are the riches that cannot be stolen, that do not depreciate, that cannot be lost in a market crash or consumed by inflation. These are the riches of the kingdom, and they are yours tonight, freely given, generously poured out, lavishly bestowed upon you by the God who loves you more than words can express. My child, the hour is growing late, and the deepest layers of sleep are calling to you now. But before you surrender completely to their embrace, I want to speak a few more words of wisdom over you. Words that will continue to work in your spirit long after your conscious mind has drifted into the peaceful oblivion of rest. I want you to carry these truths with you into the deepest chambers of sleep. where they will take root in the soil of your subconscious and produce fruit that you will discover in the days and weeks and months to come. Remember that wisdom is not a destination, but a journey. You will never arrive at a point where you have learned everything you need to know. There will always be more to discover, more to understand, more to integrate into your life, and that is part of the beauty of it. The pursuit of wisdom keeps you humble, keeps you curious, keeps you growing. It prevents you from becoming stagnant or complacent. It ensures that every day brings new opportunities for learning, and every season brings new depths of understanding. Embrace the journey, my child. Do not rush to the finish line. There is no finish line. There is only the path, and the path is beautiful, and I am walking it with you every step of the way. Remember that my wisdom is practical, not just theoretical. It is not meant to be admired from a distance, but applied in the trenches of daily life. It is for the boardroom and the kitchen, the classroom and the playground, the office and the nursery, the hospital and the marketplace. Wherever you go tomorrow, whatever you face, whatever decisions you must make, my wisdom is available to guide you. It is as close as your next breath, as accessible as your next prayer, as available as your next thought. Do not leave it on the shelf like a decorative book that looks impressive but never gets read. Take it with you, use it, apply it, test it, and watch it transform not just your circumstances but your entire way of being in the world. Remember that the goal of wisdom is not just personal success, but communal flourishing. I did not give you wisdom so that you could get ahead of everyone else. I gave you wisdom so that you could lift others up, so that you could be a source of light in dark places, a fountain of refreshment in dry lands, a beacon of hope in hopeless situations. Your wisdom is a gift, and like all gifts, it is meant to be shared. Share it generously, share it humbly. Share it with the understanding that you are not the source of wisdom, but merely a channel through which my wisdom flows to others. And as you share, you will find that your own supply never diminishes. In fact, it increases. The more wisdom you give away, the more wisdom you receive. That is the paradox of my kingdom, and it is one of the most beautiful truths you will ever discover. And finally, my precious child, remember that you are never alone on this journey. I am with you always, to the very end of the age. When you wake in the morning and face the challenges of a new day, I am there. When you sit at your desk and wrestle with complex problems, I am there. When you stand in the kitchen preparing a meal for your family, I am there. When you lie down at night and close your eyes, I am there. There is no place you can go where my presence does not follow. There is no situation you can face where my wisdom is not available. There is no moment in your life, no matter how ordinary or how extraordinary, where you are beyond the reach of my love and the guidance of my hand. The night has wrapped itself around you now like a cocoon of peace, and my words have settled into every corner of your being. Your breathing is slow and deep. Your muscles are relaxed and free of tension. Your mind is quiet, no longer racing with the thoughts and concerns that accompanied you into this place of rest. You are at peace. Complete, deep, undisturbed peace. And in this peace, you are being restored. Every system in your body is being renewed. Every wound in your heart is being tended. Every question in your mind is being answered, perhaps not with specific words, but with the deep, settled knowing that comes from resting in the presence of infinite wisdom and boundless love. The wisdom of Proverbs is ancient, my child, but it is not outdated. It is as relevant tonight as it was the day it was first spoken. It speaks to the unchanging realities of human nature, to the timeless principles that govern the flourishing of human life, to the eternal truths that remain constant while everything else shifts and changes around them. These are the truths that will anchor you when the winds of change blow hard. These are the principles that will guide you when the fog of confusion rolls in. These are the realities that will sustain you when the ground beneath your feet begins to shake. Hold on to them, my child. Not loosely, not casually, but with the firm, determined grip of someone who knows that what they are holding is worth more than anything the world could offer in exchange. I am so pleased with you tonight, my beloved. I am so delighted that you have chosen to spend these hours in my presence, receiving my wisdom, resting in my love, allowing my words to shape your heart and renew your mind. This is time well spent. This is investment that will pay dividends for the rest of your life and beyond. Every word I have spoken tonight is a seed that has been planted in the fertile soil of your spirit, and those seeds will grow. They will produce wisdom in your decisions, grace in your relationships, strength in your character, and peace in your heart. You will wake tomorrow different from the person who lay down tonight. Not dramatically different, perhaps, not visibly different to the casual observer, but different in the ways that matter most, different in the depth of your understanding, different in the clarity of your vision, different in the strength of your foundation, different in the quality of your peace. So sleep now, my precious child, sleep deeply and completely. Let the final echoes of my voice carry you into the most restful, most restorative, most peaceful sleep you have ever known. The angels are still watching over you. My presence is still surrounding you. My love is still holding you. And my wisdom is still working within you, even now, even in the deepest layers of sleep where no conscious thought can reach. When the morning comes, and it will come, bathed in golden light and fresh with the promise of a new beginning, you will rise with renewed strength and refreshed purpose. You will step into your day with the quiet confidence of someone who has been equipped by the wisdom of the ages and empowered by the love of the eternal God. You will face your challenges with clarity. You will meet your opportunities with readiness. You will engage your relationships with grace. And you will walk through every moment knowing, in the deepest place of your being, that you are wise, you are strong, you are loved, and you are mine. The book of Proverbs has spoken its wisdom over you tonight, my child. It has poured its ancient, timeless, life-giving truth into the open vessel of your heart. And now that truth will do what it has always done, what it was always designed to do. It will guide your feet, illuminate your path, protect your heart, sharpen your mind, and draw you ever closer to the abundant life that I have prepared for you since before the world began. Rest now, my beloved, rest completely, rest without reservation, rest without fear, rest without worry. Rest in the absolute certainty that you are held by hands that will never let you go, loved by a heart that will never grow cold, and guided by a wisdom that will never lead you astray. This is my final word to you tonight, and it is the same word I have been speaking over you from the very beginning. You are loved. You are loved beyond measure. You are loved beyond comprehension. You are loved beyond anything your heart could ever imagine, or your mind could ever conceive. And in that love, you will find everything you need tonight, tomorrow, and for all the days of your beautiful, purposeful, wisdom-filled life. Good night, my child. Sleep in my peace. Dream in my presence, and wake in my love. I am here, I am always here, and I always will be.